na ako susu.
Okay. Kaya gano'n. Ang gano'n mo.
Sa kanya, matutupot. Ganaan pa. Bumdami mat.
Sama mic din. Sudah lang. Sila ko bang nanek mo siya.
Jauh, mulai kata.
Pinulit niya. Nang ko mga sumugin.
Masa bato na bufato network mo?
Have you said?
Yeah.
Now, one of the ministers, the Minister of Tourism and Culture, designated the outgoing Minister of Tourism and Culture, Honorable 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 Permanent Secretary, Madam 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, Deputy Permanent Secretary Travis, directors here present, senior officers, the high table, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press corps, good afternoon and welcome to this press conference organized by the outgoing Minister of Tourism and Culture, who is the Minister designate for the Ministry of Regional Administration or Regional Government and Religious Affairs, the Honorable 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈. I am 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, the government spokesperson, and I'm pleased to be chairperson for this program today. May I please begin by appealing to all people here present to turn down their phone ringers, the mobile phone ringers. If you can kindly put them on, flight mode or just on silence, so that phone calls will not be interrupting the recording and the video proceedings of this very important press conference. The Honorable 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, as you all know, has been given a new ministry. That's why I call him the Minister designate. He wants to outline his achievements during the period he presided over the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Among other things, he will give a general statement. He will also talk about issues arising out of the parliamentary project or investigation based on the petition by the then Tourism Board. So Minister Ba will be reacting to some allegations and based on that. Also, he will be talking about the expansion of the Gambia tourism market, the World Bank project, and other programs and activities that he actually presided over as tourism minister. And the way forward, he would conclude with a statement, a generic statement, outlining government programs and policies and what the Gambia government plans to do, as we move forward with respect to the changing paradigm of the Gambian media milieu, what we see on social media, what we see on the newspapers every day. So he has a statement regarding what government plans to do regarding that kind of situation. Other than that, I think we will be, after his statement, we will be inviting members of the press corps to come out with questions. Sometimes they may not be questions, but comments or interventions. I would advise that we exercise decorum so that we can do this thing smoothly and exit this court so everybody can go and do your news reporting. And then the program would go in this order. You would rise up, raise your hand. If you are recognized, you identify your name, you identify the media house you represent. Then you can file your question, except if there is a follow-up question, you give chances to another person so that everybody will be treated fairly. I wish you the best, and I wish us all a very happy and productive press conference. May I now have the honor to invite the Honorable Ahmad Ba to come and address this press conference. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Henceforward, we're expecting an announcement from State House. The ministry will be addressed as the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, because that's what it represents. A request that effect have already been written to the Office of the President to make that pronouncement, and we're expecting it anytime soon, inshallah. Honorable Minister Designate of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the government spokesman, and the Permanent Secretary, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Director Generals of the three institutions, GT Board, GTHI, and the NCAC, the senior officials of those institutions here present, including those from the ministry, the members of the press. Welcome to the GTHI. This was the place where we had last had our press conference about 2 years ago. And that very press conference, 3 years now, that very press conference was chaired by Sankare, with the former Minister of Information, Mr. Ibrahim Silva. And I'm sure some of you will remember that press conference. Today we intend to repeat another press conference where we want to discuss with you matters of great importance, and that is matters relating to the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the government of the Gambia, and some of the issues that are being talked about in this country. As a government, let me just start. We'll be appearing more often with these press conferences. Cabinet ministers that will be led by the information minister, the government spokesman, the information minister, and cabinet ministers to meet the press and exchange views and ideas with you. We certainly will change the style of engagement. We'll be aggressive in making sure that we answer questions where they are asked, and we clarify where it is necessary. But also will act in accordance with the law to protect the integrity of government and government officials, where you have a press that is intended not to say the truth, not to disseminate correct information, but determined to malign and have an ambition, hidden ambition, to destroy and talk evil about officials of God. The law is clear. We are not threatening anybody. We are partners together, but we want responsible journalism that would educate, inform, so that we can work together in the development of this country. We will not allow anybody to use the comfort of your laptop, the comfort of your mobile phone, to be maligning people and disseminating, spreading false information against individuals. We are ready to take the challenge to the courts where necessary to make sure that we work as partners, but justifiably and honestly and sincerely. Yes, as the government spokesman have said, it is important that I give you a small brief. I cannot give you all, because I will spend the whole day here if I need to tell you all what we have achieved since we took over. But we are proud that the government of Adamawa have made remarkable progress in the development of tourism, arts and culture the last 7 years. Of course, every other sector has moved on, but we must say that this sector has witnessed significant progress, massive progress, since we took over. When we took over in 2017, the arrivals numbers were at 100,000, 139, 150,000 arrivals a year. Prior to COVID in 2019, this government have raised the number to 235,000 arrivals. When COVID came, we went down to 90,000 and then crawled again. We are one of the fastest growing countries, fastest recovering countries in the tourism arrival, one of the best in the sub-region. And today I can proudly tell you, we are almost at pre-COVID numbers by the end of December. We will be back to pre-COVID numbers by the end of December. We have done this because we were determined to make sure that we do more marketing and make sure that Gambians represent themselves in promoting this country. When we took over, we found what they call PR farms that were based in Europe, not in the Gambia, who were to promote the Gambia, who would just write a statement when they want to, and they were paid thousands of pounds. This government felt it was wrong. We hired Gambians, we posted them, we sent them to go and promote this country. And they have done extremely well in that task. And that's why nobody can promote the Gambia better than Gambians themselves. They know the country and they know what to talk about. They have our culture, they know everything. And we are proud to say that the destination managers are doing and have done a fantastic job. So the decision of the government of the Gambia at the time to terminate the contracts of these PR farms was not only driven by financial reasons, but also driven by reasons that Gambians were best to promote their country than non-Gambians who only have to talk when it is necessary for them. And that has given us the opportunity to really promote the destination. We worked on product development. A lot of new hotels are about to be completed. We have the list here. I think they're about how much? 9? 12 new hotels about to be completed. The beds have increased considerably since 2017. We are now working on trying to improve on our product development. The Gambia Tourism Board, when we came over as a government, we found that the Tourism Board was taking overdraft. At a certain time, they take overdraft because it was difficult for them. This government came with the initiative of making sure that investors also saw commitment and participation in the process of developing our industry. Government came out with a policy that a 5% non-refundable deposit to develop tourism infrastructure was important. And this was adopted and implemented. And that has led us today to the completion of numerous projects that are going to list for you that have been initiated by the Gambia Tourism Board and that has been completed, ready for inauguration. And I'm sure the Minister, through the Head of State, will be presiding over the inauguration of these projects in the next few weeks or few months to come for Gambians to see. We also managed to make sure that we built a very fitting head office for the Gambia Tourism Board, and not only that, to expand in the international market for us to get what we lost years ago. 2 weeks ago, we concluded a contract, a deal with the Upload Group. We are now getting back, under the directives of His Excellency the President, we are getting back the Scandinavian tourists back to the Gambia. From October, the Apollo Group will fly from Denmark, Sweden, Finland to the Gambia. And that we have lost since 2019 when we lost TUI Nordic that was coming to this country. And we have also, last 2 weeks ago, concluded a deal with another airline that will fly from Rome, from Italy, through Dakar to Banjul. So Gambians will have the opportunity also to come with that flight to this country. And when we went to France last year, upon coming back to France, we have also got one of the third biggest operators to be selling the Gambia in France and in Italy. They will be using regular flights to come to the Gambia. And that will start in July. So the Roma flight also is starting in July, roundabout, to the Gambia, direct flight. And we are discussing with other tour operators to make sure that they come and, of course, bring tourists to this country. As you're aware, when we came also, we introduced what we call joint marketing. What we realized was tour operators were doing all the marketing themselves, and they had all the decisions. This government felt it was important that we put money in marketing the Gambia with the tour operators so that we can have more arrivals, and that has succeeded immensely. The Gambia Tourism Board, through the Ministry of Tourism, through the Gambia Tourism Board, is now participating in joint marketing with tour operators that are coming to this country. And the Gambia Civil Aviation have been very responsive to that. They are also giving incentives to tour operators that fly their aircrafts. And indeed, of course, Gambia International Airlines has also been doing a wonderful job in cooperating with us in giving discounts to allow airlines to land in this country. And this is making a great difference to us. So we believe that where we are now, we are moving forward. And we've seen a lot of arrivals, and indeed a lot of training within staff development, human capacity development. And we have witnessed a lot of changes in this institution. Therefore, I'll come back to that later when I'm coming to read you the projects and some of the other things that are waiting. With regards to the Gambia Tourism Hospitality Institute, that's this institute where we are here, it has been transformed considerably, and the capacity have increased. A new management in place, led by Mr. Singate and Mr. Conte. We have seen since we took over in the last 7 years a significant increase in terms of numbers that they've been generating, in terms of the quality, in terms of expansion in various areas, and in training, indeed. When we come to read, we'll also give you some of those projects. And the institution, hopefully soon, will have another venture that government is trying to work out as soon as it is sorted out. I think the Director General it would be nice that we inform the press of that great achievement once the document is signed with the Ministry of Interior. We do not want to comment on it until when it is completed. And they also went into bakery, trying to train Gambians. A lot of other issues with the World Bank project, a lot of things will be done in this institution to capacitate it, to make sure that this institute will deliver to the expectations of Gambians. The National Center for Arts and Culture. Indeed, the National Center for Arts and Culture was the greatest achiever, and that had achieved more than any other institution in the new dispensation. They achieved more because it was an institution that was left out. When we came, the first thing we did was to make sure that to allow them to employ more professionals, revamp the institution, train more people, get more qualified people into the GTA, into the National Center for Arts and Culture. And it paid dividends, absolutely it paid dividends. And government wasted no time also in revisiting their wages and the budgetary allocation of the NCAs that gave them the capacity to be able to deliver on what they are delivering now. We also believe as a policy, culture center tourism, it was important to develop our heritage sites. Today we have developed almost most of them. We still have few that are left, and I'm sure Mongo Park, Mr. Cisse is left. Although the Minister of Finance, Honorable Minister, have asked that we submit the request and he will give the money left for the completion of Mongo Park. The 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 is completed, not inaugurated yet. Wasu is completed. Mongo Park is on, and we are now working on other heritage sites to make sure that they develop and to get us the type of product that we want. Are you aware that we organized the bicentenary in January, celebrating 200 years. And that has now given us the opportunity to have a festival, national festival, every year in this country, so that Gambians can showcase their talents. And then we display our culture for the world to see beyond what they have seen. And we have allocated them the land, and we are now trying to see how we can repurpose the World Bank loan, 68 million, to accommodate some of the things that were very important to this institution, particularly national theatre. We've realized that most of our artists are subject to be renting very expensively places where they are not even allowed to sell drinks. So we want to put an end to that, to give them the opportunity to be in a modern national theatre that they can display their talents and make money. And then, of course, you are all aware we've been represented internationally, showcasing Gambian culture and Gambian tradition all over. When we come to read that, we should be able to also tell you how much of that we have done. Now, the other one is our efforts, what was invested by everybody in convincing the World Bank to invest in the Gambia, to support the Gambian tourism sector with a grant of $68 million, which we never witnessed. And that project has started under the leadership of Mr. 𝒒𝒊𝒏𝒈. He is not with us today because he has some issues, but I'm sure you'll be seeing them. And as often as possible, the minister will be updating you on some of the activities of this project. Now I will give some of the sectors to come and read some of the achievements they themselves that they have prepared, so that you can listen from them, and then we can proceed on the other issues that I want to come and deal with. If you so allow, Mr. Chairman, we can allow them just to give a synopsis of what they have presented they themselves. We will not be reading the entire text, whatever, just the few ones that we need to project. Now, I want to introduce you somebody that we believe will do more than what we did and will move on from where we are. And that is Mr. Abdou Diop, the now Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Mr. Diop, as you know, he's well exposed. He's traveled all over the world. And so, with a very solid team we are leaving behind, Mr. Diop will move on from the foundation to higher heights and get more achievement for our tourism sector. Mr. Diop, we congratulate you and welcome you. And we must admit that Gambia was very high and remained high internationally. And Gambian mark has been seen all over beyond our borders. So we will come to the next item of it, but I will now allow the Director Generals themselves to come and give a little bit of synopsis of some of the things that they personally believe that we were able to bring forward. On that note, Mr. Chairman, I will involve the Director General of DT Board just to bring the hotels, the numbers, and all the rest of it. You don't need to read the whole literature. It will take a long time. People are on Ramadan, and so some people would like to leave early. So just the numbers and the rest of it, okay? So thank you. I'll come back. I'll come back to more of the issues.
I will do exactly that because we are in Ramadan, as you said.
Thank you.
And I don't think I have the energy to talk like how you are. Good afternoon once again, and then I want to also recognize the honorable ministers present, the government spokesperson, the permanent secretary, the DPS, and my colleagues, DGs, and also senior staff from the Ministry of Tourism and Culture and the satellite institution, and also the press, without which we would not have had this press conference. Minister has actually done a lot for us by highlighting some of the achievements. And I will always say that one of the greatest achievements that we have ever had is having a duty board head office. I've worked for tourism for the past 25 years, and we've always been housed either at the ministry or rental properties. This time around, GT board can boast of having their own office. I think this is a great achievement. The other achievement would be the infrastructural development, especially in terms of road connections within the tourism development area. And so, if you have been frequenting the 3DA, you realize that going to Tamala during those days was a nightmare. Much more going to Mansi Beach area and also Lemon Creek. These roads now are now motorable. They are now standard tarmac roads. I think this is also a great achievement. And also, I want to take this opportunity to thank the ministry for actually helping us make sure that this thing happens, as well as the other institutions like the National Roads Authority. They were very instrumental in helping us make sure that we have these roads. When you look at the upcountry facilities, yes, it's true, there have been a lot of talk on the ecologies. But then again, we are doing our best to make sure that we will have standard ecologies that would serve as a platform for other ecologies that are within the country to emulate, because we are going to make sure that we set the standards for them. I know there are other ecologies up country, but we think we will need to set a platform whereby others will come and say, okay, this is the standard that the government wants, so that any other person would also try to make sure that they meet that standard. Apart from that, also, I would like to mention the fact that we are working on security in the TDA, because really, if you hear that tourists are coming to the country because it's peaceful, and we have decided to build a modern tourism security office for the tourism security unit. And I think that's an achievement in order so that tourists will be assured of safety. In terms of other important facilities for our informal sector, we have built a modern craft market for Senegambia, no, for the Palmarima craft market. If we are frequenting Palmarima area, we realize that they were on the roadsides, and they were on makeshift structures. But we have now built permanent structures for them, and they can be proud of having those stores. We would be.
How many tourist markets?
We have built the new one that we have built is the Palmarima Club Market, but we have also republished Senegambia, Palmarima Club, Kodu Club Market, Fajala Club Market, and also the Senegambia Club under the livelihood project.
They are already focused.
Yes, they are already focused.
Thank you.
We have, as Minister rightly mentioned, we are working on building the products. And most of the time, when you meet with our partners that bring tourists to Gambia, they will tell us that we really need to work on quality beds. Because of that, we have decided to allocate, give people, allow some people to build some more hotel rooms, because this is what they are looking for. Although we do have a lot of them, but we think that as the time evolves, as tourism evolves, things, the demand for tourists changes. So we have to build to meet the demand of the tourists. So as a result, we have allocated some projects, and very soon, as Minister just highlighted,
how many of those projects?
Close to 12.
12 new hotels.
Yes.
And include lodges, few new lodges in those hotels.
In terms of marketing, the Minister has already mentioned there have been a paradigm shift in the way we market nowadays. Before, we used to appoint PR marketing firms. Now that we have decided that the best person to talk about Gambia is the Gambian himself. So we have been encouraging our own Gambians, including the diaspora, to help us market Destination Gambia. Apart from that also, we have appointed our own staff in our source markets. And we have given them targets that the only, so one of the most important things that we would need from you is to help us have airlines, help us have tour operators and travel agents to Gambia. Apart from that, I think we will not want to do anything. But again, I think with that, they were able to achieve a lot. As we speak now, our own staff were able to encourage some tour operators to come to Gambia. The Minister has just mentioned about the Apollo. The other one is about Portugal. We had also ensured that we have tour operators coming from Portugal, because we have realized that a lot of Portuguese tourists now have interest in Gambia. And just recently, we have concluded a farm trip with some tour operators, and all of them expressed interest to bring tourists to Gambia. And perhaps because of that, we'll be able to have TAP Portugal increase the flight frequency to Gambia, as well as increase the months that they are going to fly to Gambia. We have also tried by all means to also increase the number of tourists coming from Poland. And as a result of our efforts, we are able to convince tourists from Portugal to come from the south. And before we used to have one flight from Rainbow Tours. Now we are having two flights. A lot of flights coming from Warsaw, a lot of flights coming from the south, which is also a great achievement. We have for Portugal alone also. There were some tour operators that were operating from Dakar, from Senegal. Although yes, we and Senegal we are the same people, and again we support each other. But this after these farms that they have connected to Gambia, they've decided to move their offices from Dakar to Gambia. That is 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈 and also 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆. They are now going to move their office from Dakar, and they've already started working with our tour operators, with our ground operators.
Regional marketing Nigeria.
Also, because of our efforts, Corendon, which is the tour operator that flies to Gambia, have increased from 2 flights to 3 flights this year. TUI was operating 4 flights from UK, 2 flights from Holland, 2 flights from Belgium. They have now increased 1 flight from Holland, making it 3 instead of 2. That Portugal, as I mentioned to you, we are flying 3 times. But again, as I said, with the efforts that we have made with other tour operators coming to Gambia, moving the office from Dakar to Banjul, they may be increasing more flights. We have also had a lot of efforts in Belgium, and as a result of those efforts, we are able to attract some other 4 tour operators to come to fly from Belgium. And in fact, some of those tour operators have already started signing contracts with some hotels. With regards to our non-traditional market, Nigeria, we realize that even some of our partners, our stakeholders, hoteliers, will tell you that they will prefer Nigerian tourists because Nigerians spend more than the other tourists that we use to attract internationally. So because of that also, we have increased the number of awareness campaigns we are doing in Nigeria. And very soon we'll be conducting an outreach mission to Nigeria to attract the Nigerian tourists. And also, we have realized that Nigerian tourists would like to have some form of activities within the country. And because of that also, we have tried to build some more shopping malls. We have tried to allow people to invest on more shopping malls because the Nigerian tourists like to shop. And also, hotels that will be able to accommodate honeymooning.
Be specific there. We have given the Mohammed QCell group to build an international shopping mall. They've already started attracting international brands. Hopefully by the end of the year, this mall will be completed, and that would help attract Nigerian tourists. Because when they are traveling, they want to buy a lot of gold. They want to go to international brand shops. And we want the Gambia to have them. It's absent in our country.
Right.
We have very few international brands, if there is any. We want to make sure that with the international brand, the Bougie, the Zaharas, the different name of it you call it. So I think the group have already attracted few. They are about to sign contract with few, and we hope that by the end of this year they would have at least got 15 new brands in the Gambia, and they will make sure that this mall will have a section for gold, jewelry, everything for that matter. That would bring in Nigerian tourists to this country.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. And the other thing is also about the regional market. We are promoting destination Gambia in Senegal. You realize that Senegal may be more expensive than Gambia, and we have a lot of Senegalese tourists that are interested to come to Gambia. Although we are the same people, but at least they want to come and share their experience with us. And as a result of that, you realize that most of the tourists come to Tamala area from Senegal, and we are also intensifying our marketing strategies in Senegal, using their TVs and using also their bloggers and also their influencers.
What was your number of arrival last year from Senegal? 7,000?
Yes.
About that.
Very
we need to know the figure.
Sure.
And we are trying to do more to make sure that we have GT board officials taking the statistics at the border entry, because some of them come here and they are not captured in terms of our numbers of arrival. and government have already approved. GRA have accepted to house your officials once you identify them, so that they will help them.
Correct, and this is important to mention because all the figures that Minister mentioned earlier were all air arrivals. We have not included the cruise that come down by cruise ship. We don't include also the one that come through the border by road. One of the most important in that island, and which is domestic tourism, you realize that most of the time we were marketing international tourism. Domestic tourism was something that is new, that was not marketed. But you realize from COVID, not everything about COVID was bad, to tell you the truth. We realized from COVID that countries that were able to recover quickly from COVID are the countries that were practicing domestic tourism. That is why we are now not left behind. We are working on...
those one was Portugal and Kenya.
Kenya, right. And we are now working very, very hard to make sure that we Gambians become tourists in our own countries. We are going to roll out packages that are going to be friendly to the average Gambian. In the sense that there will be special rates for Gambians to play. If you are an explorer or an adventurer, realize that Gambia is very beautiful. We have over 182 cultural and historic sites in the country. We have a lot of nature, beautiful nature, which we have not explored. We are working with the World Bank to also assess all these sites, and then we make sure that we promote and also develop some of those sites so that people like Gambians or other people can also go as tourists in those places. You realize that the Gambia is not much explored. But then this time around, we're working very hard with the MCC to make sure that all the necessary facilities, e.g. the jetties, are in place. River Gambia has a lot of potential in terms of bird watching, in terms of cruising, ecotourism. You will realize that going on the River Gambia from one end to the other, you will come across a lot of animals, like for instance dolphins, hippopotamus, and different species of birds. So we are working very hard to make sure that we develop all the products or the facilities that are necessary so that tourists or Gambians can also move on the River Gambia from one place to another in order to experience the beauty of this country. I want to conclude to say that it must be pointed out that all the market strategies and activities resonate very well with the GT board post-COVID tourism recovery strategy, as well as the new tourism policies, without which we will be beating about the bush. Most of the time, you hear that, especially with students at the university, will tell you that tourism in the Gambia started by accident. And the reason being is that when tourism started in this country, perhaps there were not too many flags. But nowadays, we have what is called a tourism policy. And all our actions that we are doing are guided by that. We are not just beating about the bush, but we are guided by policy documents of the government. Minister, I'm sure with that.
The rest we will take it on.
Thank you.
That's the Director General of the 𝒂𝒖𝒕𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒕𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 Mr. Sinap. He's the new DG. You are on here now? Congratulations.
Honorable Ministers here present, the government spokesperson, Directors General, and colleagues from GT Board and NCAC, senior members of the satellite departments under the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, NCAC, GT Board, 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, members of the press, our colleagues, friends, that we want to... Why are you making the adjustment? Because your DG is taking the podium.
His DG is taking the podium, you want to say?
Yeah, you want to make the adjustment. You have left it to stay as it is. We want to recognize the very important role that the press is contributing towards the development of this industry, because it is through the press that we send our messages across, sometimes in a negative way though, but then to be more patriotic, we would envisage and ensure that the messages that would be sent across will be realistic and accurate. Having said that, like the Director General of 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 has highlighted earlier, we are in Ramadan, so we don't want to waste much of the time here. So I will just go straight to the point to highlight some of the achievements that we are able to record during the period under review. Now, to start with, I just want to recall our memories to the first meeting that we had with the Honorable Minister when he was newly appointed as Tourism Minister, and we were giving reports, situation reports of our various departments. And when we mentioned our subvention at the time, his first question is, how can you develop as an institution with this type of support? And then we all looked at each other, including my senior brother, Hasu. And the first thing that he helped us to do was to augment our subvention. And I want to take this opportunity to quote Hasu to say at that point that a 300% increase on subvention is historic. On a sideline meeting with him, Hasu said to me, 300% increment on subvention is historic. So we realized that there was something that was going to happen in terms of the support and attention that we should have as an institution from central government. So we had a 300% increase on our subvention, and this was in efforts to be able to attain and obtain our staff retention plans. Because this was a time when the attrition rate was very high. People were leaving the school because the take-home was very minimal. It was barely enough to take care of the first basic things. So the minister advised us to look at our payroll and do some adjustments to be able to retain our staff.
Even during COVID, I gave you 20% rise.
Yes.
Without COVID or even depression, I didn't.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. So as a result,
Well, let me tell you one thing. When I told you if it leaks, I cancel it, it never leaks. Nobody talk about it.
It will not. Nobody will talk about it. Really, we had a very high staff retention rate now that the attrition has been reduced thanks to that positive decision. Following this, following the increase of the subvention, we looked into the curriculum that we were delivering at the time and realized that it needed to be upgraded. So we, through the support from the ministry, we had support from World Bank also in 2017 to review our curriculum, because we had the capacity in terms of human resources to deliver curriculum that would be matched at the international level, with international standards. So we did a curriculum review exercise in 2017, and this curriculum review was so appealing to the sub-region that we were able to sell our courses outside the country. This was the time we started to attract students from Senegal, from Sierra Leone, from Nigeria, from even
Tell them how that came about. We offered scholarships.
From Guinea-Bissau, yes.
We initially offered scholarships to Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone.
I wanted to take a shortcut, but the Honorable Minister wants me to give a full picture of the story.
We gave them scholarship for them to understand the importance of this institution. And that led them to bringing their citizens to come and study in this institution.
Very well. As a strategic approach to be able to penetrate these markets, we offered scholarships to those nationals through their embassies in the country. And we had the first cohort that was responded to by Guinea-Bissau, and then followed by Nigeria and Sierra Leone. And since then, from word of mouth recommendation, we have been having a lot of inquiries from those countries, but also receiving students from them. The ambassador of Guinea-Bissau to the Gambia was here yesterday, to try to see how best they can sell because of the impact that our training is having on their service sector in Guinea-Bissau. So one of the reasons for his visit yesterday was to see how best they can be sending more students to the school to be trained in hospitality-related disciplines. And the feedback we received from him was so positive that he said he's highly impressed that since his posting to the Gambia, he had never been here, but it was not a regret to come here to see firsthand what obtains in-house, and that he will be able to talk to those back home in Guinea-Bissau about his experience here. So we are expecting and ready to receive more students from Guinea-Bissau through our collaboration and also the scholarships that we are offering. Now, since it became a government policy to decentralize tourism activities, we had arrangements with the International Trade Center through the 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆 project to extend training programs to rural Gambia. This was in recognition of the fact that a lot of investors that had wanted to invest in hospitality in rural Gambia would have thought of how to source their human capacity to be able to run their facilities. So from 2018 to 2022, we ran a couple of numbers of cohorts in terms of training in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, in 𝒂𝒂𝒉𝒂, and also in West Coast. I think the current situation of investment in hotels and accommodation facilities upcountry is as an offshoot of these training programs that we conducted in these areas. Since the completion of these trainings, we have seen the augmentation of service level in those areas in the countryside, but also the confidence of investors to open hotels in those areas. Remarkable among them is the facilities that we witnessed being opened in 𝒂𝒆𝒄𝒄 by 𝒉𝒂 Construction. It's a top-notch, first-class accommodation. We have seen the one in Kudang that is also owned by the Gambian. You know, and of course the refurbishment and renovation of the existing facilities. Now all these things are happening because of the
Upcountry program.
the policy of the Ministry of Tourism to decentralize tourism activities. So we conducted training, and we trained about 400 young people collectively in both 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒏𝒔, and 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂. This is a landmark and a laudable achievement because by virtue of the interaction that I had with some of the facility managers, they have been highlighting how they have been able to attract more businesses based on the service standards that they have improved in those facilities. Now, I mentioned about staff attrition earlier because of a review of our pay scale. It did not stop there. We had the opportunity to train about 8 young people to develop themselves at the University of the Gambia at bachelor's degree level. But also we trained about 6 people at master's degree level in tourism and hospitality management. These are all efforts geared towards building capacity for the institute to be able to deliver to the maximum level quantitatively and qualitatively. And it has also helped us in the staff retention because people always want to work in establishments that are considerate of their well-being and their welfare and of course their professional development. So we are very much in the forefront in terms of staff capacity development and we ensure that every year we train at least 2 staff at master's degree level. But for bachelor's degree, or any staff that has an entry to the university to do a program, is being supported in terms of tuition and of course continuous study allowance. So this has encouraged a lot of staff to enroll in the university, and the number is increasing. Having been aware that once they graduate from their first degree, they have opportunities to also go for their master's degree. As we speak, we have successfully registered all our students, all our staff with NACA training license. I think we are, if not the only, but one of the few institutions in the country that have met all NACA requirements in terms of accreditation.
Some of them don't know what's NACA.
NACA is the National Accreditation and the authority that is responsible for accrediting and authorizing training institutions.
And quality.
Quality Authority and Accreditation Authority. So they are the government in the department that is responsible for accrediting and licensing training institutions, including higher education institutions, that is the University of the Gambia and other related universities or private universities that are in country. So they are doing accreditation for both tertiary and higher education institutions. And one of the requirements that other institutions are finding difficult to meet is to have 100% accreditation rate for your trainers. And this is what we have achieved recently. I think the last batch of accredited staff was just delivered to our registrar so a few days ago. So you remember when there was elections by the Guinea-Conakry and there was bread shortage in the country. And this is because a good number of our bakers are
non-Gambians. And we decided to start training Gambian youths to do bakery.
So,
move on.
So we developed a curriculum in bakery to be able to train young people. So we have a bakery training center.
So we take over the industry, don't leave it in foreign hands.
Because we feel that this is a gray area where a lot of young people will be interested in, so that we will be able to be more positioned to feed ourselves when it comes to bread consumption. As part of our social corporate responsibility during the period under review, we have offered 40 scholarships at certificate level and 30 scholarships at diploma level to people who have not been able to fulfill their requirements or conditions in terms of tuition fees. That these are needy students that have the required academic and skill potential to develop, but they are not able to pay their fees, so we waive their fees for them as part of our corporate social responsibilities. In total, 70 students. Pre-2017, we have a 75% completion rate to our programs. And our recent statistics have shown 95% completion rate. And the same statistics also showed a 90% employment opportunities and completion for our graduates, meaning 90% of those who have graduated from this school have got jobs.
Can I help you on that, Mr. Director?
Yes.
We lost over 5,000 jobs in this country after COVID. The cruise liners, the international job market, our own people have been employed in different parts of the world. They've gone. They were all trained in the tourism sector. They were working in hotels, bars, restaurants, casinos, and other parts. They've all gone. It's good for the country because there are Gambians working and they will be sending back foreign exchange to our country. Now, because the Gambian government have a policy of creating 150,000 jobs, the 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈 has been capacitized to train more Gambians because they are on high demand nationally and internationally. And Mr. Singate is leading that program, and government is giving him all the support to make sure that it happens. We want to train more Gambians so that they can be employed internationally to make up the 150,000 jobs that the Gambia government have pledged to create in the next 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The country is increasingly becoming a regional hub for hospitality personnel. Everybody is talking about the Gambia. When we had engagements with cruise ship recruitment companies, they tell us that your graduates are very clear, in the front line when they go to the cruise ships. And in the past, we were going to the Philippines, we were going to other countries to recruit staff, but when we started experiencing Gambian staff, it's not the same. So we want 5,000. And this was last year. I said,
I will not stop it. Let them go, but we'll train more. People don't tell me to stop it. I said no. He will let them go because every Gambian have an opportunity to want to enjoy opportunity.
Exactly.
It's our responsibility to train more Gambians to go. Right now, they are demanding 1,500 on the spot. We don't have that, but that's why more Gambians are getting trained so that they can benefit from that job opportunity.
So we said, how can we get this? We engaged the Honorable Minister at this time and he said, tell us what you need to be able to do this. So we gave a shopping list. We said, when we have this, we will be able to train at least 1,500 every year to be able to close the gap. But there has been a very loud outcry also in the industry. Our hotels are always calling. I want 5 cooks. I want 10 waiters. I want 3 receptionists. I want housekeeping. In as much as the institute is here, we will continue to provide those opportunities for young people because it has a lot of advantages in terms of remittances.
You will stop the back way. Our youth will not die at sea.
Yeah.
Now they are all coming here for training.
Yeah. So the number of applications we have now is overwhelming, especially when the young people know that when you graduate from 𝒕𝒊𝒗, you are a hotcake for cruise ships companies, where you go and work and be provided with food, everything, accommodation, and they pay you more than $1,000. So it's also affecting the local job market, but it's a gap that we have to fill. And we can only fill this by training more and more young people.
I hope Mr. Minister is listening to that one.
Yes, sure, I think.
For the 150,000 jobs creation, you need to get more capacity to train more people, professionally though.
Very well.
My ears are wide open.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. On a final note, we have tried to link agriculture with tourism. So we benefited from a project, GIZ project, to have an agri-food processing center here. That is the construction that is happening at the back.
We are going to process agricultural products here.
Yes.
In the proper packaging, proper finishing, that can be marketed. That's what they are doing.
Yeah. So those items will also be used as food ingredients in our hotels, so that we will also encourage local gastronomy. We want to encourage Gambian food to be displayed in our hotels, so that people that visit this country will have the opportunity to eat the tours, the 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈s, and all the rest of them. So the agro-food processing is, we have already developed the curriculum, we have trained, we have built a capacity, we have sent some people in Senegal to do a training on this. And once this building is ready with all the equipment, we will also start to do the training on that. And on a final note, one more final note, we have just concluded the consultancy of the redesigning of our training kitchen, Honorable. The training kitchen, our kitchen is going to be expanded. And now there will be 2 parallel kitchens, one dedicated purposely for training and the other one for service and for operations. So these are some of the achievements that we have been able to record. Not all of them though, because of the time constraints.
You cannot finish it in
but then these are some of the things that we want to update you. On that note, I want to thank you for your attention.
Mr. Hassan, she said, you cannot say all, but try to, because I need to speak again. And we want to expect questions from them. And Madam Senghor, tell us the policy. Where we are with your policy? First thing, when will you get our policy costed? When will you get our policy roll out rather?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Honorable
Excuse
Minister.
me, Madam Senghor, when will you post our policy, your policy at your ministry? Thank you. She said what?
Yes, good afternoon.
Don't read us the preamble there. Go straight to the point.
Yes. Honorable Minister, Honorable Government Spokesman, Director General, Permanent Secretary, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Friends, Senior Staff, NCAC, BT Board, 𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈. Honorable Minister, thank you for your kind words about the NCAC. I just want to add that we work with the Gambia Tourism Board to also have this community, tour guide scheme. We have done it in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 and in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒄, and we have also extended it to 𝒊𝒏𝒄. And last week we were in Banjul, where we are planning to interpret the heritage of Banjul. And we did, with the support of UNESCO, we completed an inventory of the built heritage in Banjul, like the monuments, school houses, the village houses, and so on. So now we want to engage the local people in the city to interpret that heritage. During the corona also, through the ministry, the NCC disbursed $3 million to the artists because they were, like everybody else, negatively affected. We have also ratified UNESCO conventions, 1970 convention on the trafficking of cultural goods, and the 2001 convention on protection of our cultural heritage. This came into effect 6 weeks ago, on 10 February 2024. Now our task is to ratify the 1954 UNESCO Convention on the protection of heritage during times of conflict. And already work has started on that.
It's on the table of ministers for tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have completed digitizing the oral archives in Fajara with the support of the University of Hamburg. It will be online by the end of this year. All the archives and files. And we have also worked with the Gambia Tourism Board to revive the Kampala Festival in 2018. It was dead for 3 decades, but we worked with the Tourism Board and the community in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈 to revive the festival. Now it is going to its sixth edition. Yes, I think those are things that I can add.
The copyrights.
Yes.
What we did, say it loud.
Well,
Musicians, they are right to their product.
Yes.
What we have done.
Yes. The regulations were promulgated in 2018, so that
The cultural policy we brought in.
we can register the artists, their works, and also assisting the artists for their visas. Because now and then they want to travel. Okay, so they come, we give attestation, and now and then the embassies are very supportive. A few of them have even been given diplomatic passport, to make their international appearances easier. And for the new minister, something that you are going to help us with is the funding for the National Endowment Fund for Arts and Culture. The outgoing minister has promulgated the regulation, so now it's just to take it to cabinet for funds to be put into that fund to support the funding of artistic events and activities. Thank you very much.
Now, let me just come in now. No, you have to be okay.
very much, Directors, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for your very valuable interventions. You know, Amata, before he entered politics, he was a career school teacher for many, many years. So all the time you see the teacherness in Amata surfacing, before the microphone. All the same, it was very good intervention. At least that shows also he has a vast reservoir of the ministry he is just about to leave. As a student of literature, I'm reminded of the words of the Scottish poet Valentine, who wrote in the 18th century about parting. All too often human beings come together until they're so close and they leave. And this is what he said. He said, to part is the lot of all mankind. The world is a scene of constant leave-taking. And the hands that grasp in cordial grip are doomed ere long to unite for the last time, when the quivering lips pronounce the word farewell. So as the minister is bidding farewell to his whole ministry, and we have a new person coming in, it could be pretty emotional. The testimonies of these directors here demonstrate that the past 7 years were not years that we have spent idling about, as it may be alleged elsewhere. The achievements, as Ms. talked about a center that has all too often been neglected, the Center for Arts and Culture. No country, no civilization, nowhere can progress absent culture. Culture is a crucial element in any country's development. And I think I should thank the Honorable Minister, maybe because of the teacher career he had this sense of history, and he decided that he must confront upfront the cultural aspect. And today, thanks to him and his staff, we are talking about a very booming culture department. And I'm sure my brother coming in, Mr. Joe, the Honorable Joe, will certainly do very well to actually continue the good work of his predecessor. On that note, I would call members of the press to the question time.
Can I
Oh, you want to do something?
Yeah, I want to deal with another issue.
Okay, go ahead.
If you allow me.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman.
That's okay.
Allow me to deal with it.
Okay.
I'll bring them with you. No problem. If we have this now, we have to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the officials who have just helped me inform or read some of the issues that I wanted them to help you to understand. You cannot finish it even from here to tomorrow. Each of them wrote about 3, 4 pages, 5 pages. But I told them that we can do that, but maybe subsequently it can be done. Now, I am talking to you on an issue that has been an issue unnecessarily for a while. That is, when COVID came, all the hotels were closed, all tourism facilities were closed. They went on to ground zero. I want you to listen to me carefully and put your microphones ready to listen to what I say. I then thought, as a minister responsible of tourism, arts and culture, that the Gambia Tourism Board, that was collecting the taxes of these people, needed to demonstrate some responsible feeling of empathy and sympathy to those that have lost everything that they have. I directed through the board chair that let them be on part-time, to also show solidarity to others who are on ground zero. Well, implementation was nagging. And I am responsible of taking decisions that I deem to be fit and necessary. When I realized that there was a strong resistance to my directives, I asked the board to go and have a meeting. In that board meeting, it did not come in the agenda, even though I have written through the board to ask them to implement it, consider implementing the decision. It was government decision that the duty board need to take some decisions, prudent decision to try to save resources, because we didn't know when COVID was going to. It was initially for a period of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month at most, and we consider as to whether do we need to continue or close the board, dissolve it for everybody to go for, redundant everyone. I didn't want to take a decision. I felt no, we cannot redundant them because everybody is redundant, but let's make sure we give them a chance, let them earn half, and we proceed and see how to do it. Some of them were bent on never proceeding. And we realized that the board also was not acting the manner and the speed we wanted this thing to be. I appointed the board through the President of the Republic. I straight away dissolved the board with the approval of the President of the Republic. I dissolved the board. And then there were some staff who felt that they are super God, super, nobody should touch them, they can do whatever they want to do, and that nobody can do. I was determined to make sure we get it done. And it was done. Then they wrote a petition alleging a lot of the corruption. Lodges not, contract not awarded, not supported by GVB, money being taken and all allocation. They made a lot of allocation. Went to the National Assembly. Said, we are prepared. Let them call us. We are born here, bred here. We fear no one. What we do, we know we do it right. It may not be perfect, but we can stand anywhere and defend ways. And if any one of them have evidence, let them go and put it to the court. This committee sat, met almost everybody. And they met almost everybody. I think I was the last to meet the committee. When I went to meet the committee, the first thing I did was to tell the chairman to lead petitioners. That is Sheikh Omar Bah, my own brother, 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆, have Boja. Therefore, you cannot be chair of this committee. You will be biased. You will not do justice in treating it. I want to prove that further to you. When I said you are the same party with 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆, I'm not making allegations. I'm too good to do that. Let me give you this. 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆 in his Facebook, wrote this. He said, listen to me, that's 𝒊𝒏𝒇𝒐𝒓𝒆. The president castigating Gambians in the diaspora is another of his series of betrayals to help him. And I believe, I am confident, Khalifa Abubakar Saleh will win the elections in December. With one other thing, because there was another chap who resigned, Adam chap, who resigned. He never did. He never did in this report. Secondly, I said the lead petitioner, Sheikh Omar Bah, is a confessed fraudster who has stolen money, confessed it. I have the document here. Listen to it. I read it for you. A criminal for that. criminal for that one. Let me see. Listen to me, please. Said Omar Ba stole money with the GT board a couple of years ago, and he signed this confession. I, said Omar Eba, do hereby agree for the GT board to use the amount owed to me as an overseas study allowances amounting to $589,050 and offset against payment that I fraudulently made amounting to $678,585 without following due process and obtaining approval required. One, he said confess first. This said Omar Ba. Doesn't end there. What he did, when I saw them resisting, I wonder why somebody should resist being on part-time when your colleagues are gone. I ordered immediate audit of the Gambia Tourism Board. Can I tell you the revelation of the audit? The revelation of the audit. Listen to me. Sheikh Omar Ba was found to have defrauded over $1 million of the GT board. We forward the matter to the police for action with all the evidence that they attacked him, all the bank ones, all of them now, everything from Ajib Bank. He went to the police, they paid the money. I think it's $1,028,000. Let me get it correctly. Documents are here. $1 million, what is this? 1,020,000? 1,025,850. He defrauded the GT board. And this is the lead petitioner who is talking about corruption. Yet including this 600-something thousand. He said, you, after the audit, when they were resisting this, he went, when we ordered the police to prosecute him, he went and paid the money. That's the receipt of payment to GT board. That's the receipt that he paid to the Gambia Tourism Board. The receipt he paid. Went to the police, he went, they paid him $1,025,850 of the Gambia Tourism that he defrauded. Do you know how he defrauded this? This very simple. Who was the lead petitioner? You know what he did? He went and obtained 2 ID cards in 2 names of the same Sheikh Omar. I have a photocopy of the ID cards here with me. I'll show you. No, we have to get to the bottom of this. We cannot just be tarnishing the image of people who are criminals. They want to continue their criminality in an institution. We have the right to stop it. Who are we not to stop it? When we are on oath. And that's one of the ID cards. Oh la la. One of the ID cards, Omar Eba. One of the ID cards say Omar Eba. That's it, look at it. And the other ID card says Omar Ba. The Gambia Tourism Board, and we requested the police to charge him for criminality. Police wrote to us a letter refusing that charge, refusing the charge. A copy of that letter from the police, and he's paying all his liabilities as we speak. Mr. Boya had issues with the board, genuine issues. They have a legal advisor, a lawyer. By manner of which he behaved, he was terminated. We cannot discuss that because it's before the court of law. We have to respect the rule of law. You are now saying those are the people who should be reinstated as the chairman of the committee. Second, you, who are you? Minister, parliamentarian, to determine how a Director General uses his staff to do his job. That people should not be posted off country. You know, we talked about here developing inland tourism. We wanted expertise there to help those hotels, train people. They posted them without the knowledge of the ministry. Or like on Ramadan. I swear, we never knew how this program was. None of us, neither the permanent secretary nor myself. They posted them. And that, if the Director General is discussion, believe you will do a better job there. Who can stop him? Not the minister, not the permanent secretary, nobody. That's his job. That's what the law has given him. Who are you as a parliamentarian committee to talk about that? Who? Is that what you are presenting to people? And it doesn't end there. Allow me time. Let's deal with this. We finish it. People have been talking about it. They said the lodges. They said the lodges. There was corruption. The national audit immediately conducted an audit of all these lodges and their processes. Go and check. The audit report is there. He has it. Why are you talking about lodges? When the Auditor General had audited the lodges and found no wrongdoing in the entire process, with an exception of payment procedure? Payment procedure. Why should you pay? This one should pay. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing was found in that. As a committee, when the Auditor General make an audit, give a report, who are you to? Not to put that on board if you are investigating. And again, the same man, committee, they said there was no GPP approval in the allegation. GPP said they approved it. 100%. You said that the land given to Mrs. Jaban was too much. Are you the expert to determine that? Is that your job? Is that the job of a minister or anybody else? The technician determine what your investment is, what commensurate to the land that you should have. And not only that, Mrs. Jaban, Mr. Senghor, and others, when the documents, they refuse to put those documents in an addendum in their report. That's it. Bogus. They said the minister interfered directly with the board without going. Did they name one single incident when the minister ever did? They lied. They cannot give you one single evidence. Not one single evidence of interference. Did they name it? No. They lied. Budget allocation. Budget allocation. The official process was duly completed. An amount allocated to the ministry to help it use it to function perfectly to do its job. If the ministry did well, any crime in that? Any crime in that? That has gone through the due process? Who are you to question that? Who are you to question that? Then you said removal of board chair. I appointed the board. You know what happened? Wallahi, I'm on Ramadan. Wallahi, I'm on Ramadan. Wallahi, I'm on Ramadan. When I went to the president to appoint this board chair, the president said, Koto, no. I will not appoint this man as board chair. Billahi wallahi. Billahi wallahi. Billahi wallahi. He said, I will not. I will not appoint him as board chair for this institution. Billahi wallahi. It took me time to convince the president. 2 days. He said, I'm doing it. You will come back and tell me, remove it. And exactly that's what happened. When I went there, he said, what did I tell you? So, who are you to tell me not to appoint, not to remove a board chair that is not serving the institution and the job that is meant for? It's my discretion to appoint, my discretion to sack. That's not business with parliament. No. It's not anybody's business. Conflict of interest. You said husband and wife. The day we went there, the president said, to avoid any talk, I'm moving Mr. Senghor right from the who found the board to be at zero balance, overdraft, left it over 100 million plus turnover. The pedigree, the job he did, he moved him. Not only did he move him, but he got promoted, delivering the best of service at that time. Who are you talking about? What has already happened? Does that need to appear in your report? This happened 3 years ago. Why do you have to put in a report? That means you are sleeping. You don't even know what's happening. Should that appear in a report that has been addressed 2 years ago, 3 years ago without even your money? So for me, really, layer group. When the president saw me laying the foundation stone of layer group, next day he called me. He said, Minister, did you know this layer group? I said, President, I have no idea. Were you people involved? I said, Wallahi, President, nobody from the ministry was involved. He said, this will be your biggest mistake. You will live to regret for the rest of your life. I said, what? He said, they will not do it. I said, Mr. President, I don't know this. But I can assure you any other project henceforward, my permanent secretary will be involved or designate somebody to be involved. And that's what we did with all other projects. We were in trouble with this layer group. We engaged it. We are working now to resolve everything. It's been difficult. I confessed this when I went to the committee that it was a neglect that he got the contract. We didn't know. We are not part of it. But he blamed me for letting such thing happen without my intervention or my permanent secretary or anybody from my ministry. I acknowledge it. I accepted it. No. That's why I said, I'm not perfect. I just trusted people to do a job. He said, no matter what trust you have to put an eye on what's happening in the institution around. And I told the chairman on this. And this was a fair comment. I wanted to tell them what is the deal. Now, these are some of the issues. He said I gave a discount. When I came, I found this pool we are running on overdraft. They have nothing. I ordered this file, cabinet approved it. First, it was 10%. The business committee said, we will not give you 10% of our money before we start. They closed up. Everybody was leaving. Then they decided to bring it to 5%. Even this 5%, when somebody complained and what is genuine, the minister had a discretion to give a discount of percentage. This investor came here. When he said what he was told, he was said he was leaving. He cannot give Gambian government money when he has not even started work. We encouraged him to come back. He wrote, we gave him a discount to start work. Unfortunately, he never started. He even left. You are telling me, who am I not to have my discretion as a minister, as I am mandated under the Gambian constitution to direct and control matters under my ministry? You question that? As a lawmaker, you know what the law is? So, gentlemen of the press, sorry, ladies and gentlemen of the press, I think it is important that we trust in our National Assembly members. Seriously, we have a lot of trust in them. But when you are doing something and you have a politically impregnated intention and idea, you should make it work. When I told him you cannot be chairman of this committee because you will not be honest to us. Because Mr. you are biased, you will be biased. Tell people that this man is in your party. He didn't even mention it in the report. And when I gave him all this self-command issue, he said, good, we are not going to admit it. Somebody was searching for justice and fair play. Did they show you one single receipt of evidence for what they have given to people? No attachment, nothing. And in fact, you want to question who drafted this report. And some of the committee members, they were hiding this report from them. They did not partake in the report. As if you think you can fool Gambians. Look, this government is out to fight corruption, and we'll fight it. We will make sure that we fight. We'll make sure we do the needful. We make sure we do the right thing. Nobody is super. You think that you can go to social media, get petition to assembly that can cover you for your wrongdoings? You You think that can cover you? You will not be exposed for the monies that you have stolen or what you have done to the people of this country? Ladies and gentlemen, I await your question.
Yeah, just to remind you, thank you so much, Minister. It's question time now. Just to remind you, if you have a question, you raise your finger, your hand, and then you identify yourself and the medium you represent. You invite the question, and then Minister will answer the question. Any question or questions?
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. First of all, my name is Yunus Salim.